So I'm a little like, let's go book some things. $65 for a flight is still really cheap, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that booked really quick, and then we'll chat hotel rooms. But I'm also having a hard time with it. I leave on this trip tomorrow. We're gonna get a breakdown and how much I ended up spending realistically on this. It is one of those busy Wednesday mornings where I've not even changed out of my pajamas. I've not made the bed. Like, we're hanging on by a thread. I got up and went straight to work. That's it. But I'm doing something fun because I have been thinking about this for a little bit. And some of you asked about it in my Q&A. And then my girl Becca, who's also here on YouTube, did this, and I'm like, that looks so fun. So now I'm like, I think I want to do a solo trip. So I'm booking a solo trip, you guys. Like, it's a short one, like super short, because I just don't think I could handle anything longer, and I want to start out short, and then if I enjoy that, then maybe I can move to something longer. But I'm excited, so let's go book some things. Okay, so I priced out a lot. Like, I spent probably 3 or 4 hours last night just playing with things and like pricing out, okay, which flight and which resort room combination would work, and like, okay, what's gonna work best for our family and our schedule, and when can my mom watch my girls, and when could Dean take me to the airport, and like coincide with all that. And I didn't want to do it on a weekend because I didn't want to take time away from family time, and also working on projects and things together, so I didn't want to like pull time from that. So I picked a weekday. So it will be January 31st flying down, and then coming back on February 1st. So that is like the nice little timing. So I'm looking at a flight leaving at 9 a.m. from Nashville, and it'll get me into Orlando about lunchtime. So it'll get me time. I can go over to the resort and be able to get some things done and can enjoy. And for my return flight, I'm looking at leaving Orlando at 5:10. So I'll probably have to leave my hotel around 3-ish o'clock. And that puts me back in Nashville at like 6:30. So I'm like, okay, that works. He can drop me off before he goes to work, and then Dean can pick me back up right after he gets off work. So that works perfect. My flight, I'm so sad. Last night I was looking at it and it was $45 round trip. Now it is $64. So it went up about 20 bucks. So I'm a little like, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep on it and see. And flight prices, like, they sold out of that one pricing, so it's jumped to another tier of pricing. But you know what, it is what it is. $65 for a flight is still really cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that booked really quick, and then we'll chat hotel rooms. Flights are booked, and it was $64.20 for that, so not too shabby for a round trip flight. I don't feel bad about that. It is through Spirit. I've flown them multiple times, and I haven't had any like major issues with them. I've had like a delay once or twice, and then like changing gates, but things like, it's minor stuff, and it wasn't like, when it was delayed, it wasn't delayed like hours and hours or anything. It wasn't just awful. So I've not dealt with any like crazy Spirit issues. And for $64, like, you can't beat that. Every other airline was so much more. I didn't buy any bags. I'm doing personal item only. It's literally one night. I can put my toothbrush and my makeup and a change of clothes and my backpack, and just, I'm good. And if I take my computer or whatever, like, it is what it is. But that is the plan. I did find this room at Coronado Springs for that night. It is the cheapest that I can find. I was hoping from like a value all-star, like dirt cheap, but $161 for a night at Coronado Springs Resort, I don't feel like it's too bad. With my annual pass discount, like that's pretty good. So all in, I'm at like, I think $223 is the amount that I'm at right now. I feel like that's pretty good. I'm hoping, like, well, I'm gonna say this now and I may change this later, and I may be like, buck wild, we're eating this. I don't know, but I'd love to keep it under 300 for the whole thing, or right at 300. Like that's kind of like my budget basically, because I already have my annual pass, so I'm not having to pay for that. I have my flight, my hotel, so at this point it's just food. So I think that's what we're doing. So I think that's all I can book for now. I just need to like think about what do I want to do, because usually I'm like, okay, this would be fun for me, but it's usually also like very centered around the girls, or I'm the person I like want to plan and make everybody else happy. So what does Ashley want to do? All right, you guys, I leave on my very first ever solo trip in 5 days. I'm excited, but I'm also having a hard time with it. I don't know, like planning as a mom, and like I don't know, like I've always planned things for my family and based it around like what they're interested in. And obviously I'll throw in a few things here and there that I like, but I feel so lost just trying to plan this trip for myself. Now granted, I'll be there, I'll be in Disney World on Disney property for just over 24 hours. So it's a short trip. It's what I was comfortable with for a starting trip. I wasn't quite ready for like a whole weekend or a whole week quite yet, so I'm curious to see how this goes. But as far as picking out like what I want to do, I don't know. I'm struggling. Like doing something for myself has felt so weird. But it's just strange. It's like I don't know myself anymore and like what I like, because I've not planned a trip. I've never planned a trip for just me, and it's always been me and my husband. And like granted, I was always more into Disney than he was. He's come around to it and actually pretty well enjoys it at this point. And he loves seeing me and the girls happy, so he tolerates it, kind of enjoys it, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know, like all I can see so far is like things that I'm like, okay, I want to do this. Is like, I want to go get my pink donut. I know I want to take a loop on the People Mover and just kind of sit and enjoy that, because I love riding the People Mover. I just love being able to like ride around and people watch, and it just, I think it's great. But beyond that, and maybe get some Gideon's cookies to bring home. I'll probably, if I can, squeeze that in. Try to do that. But beyond that, I'm just kind of lost at what to even do. So yeah, I don't know. It's like when I first booked the trip, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fun and I'll get to do all the things I want to do. And it's like the more time that passes, I'm like, what do I even want to do? So I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. Like, would you like dreaming of a couple of days anywhere? I mean, it doesn't even have to be Disney, like anywhere by yourself. Do you feel like you would be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I would do. I've already got it mapped out in my head. Or are you like me and you're like, I don't know that I would know what to do with myself. So we'll see. I'm sure once I get there and I get into it, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I want to do this and this and this. But my goal is to keep this trip under $300. That's the goal, because I'm trying to be like budget friendly and whatever. But I think earlier on when I booked it, the cheapest room I could get was $161. I think that was pre-tax, $161 at Coronado Springs in a regular standard room. But I kept checking because availability constantly changes. And I also like perusing availability. I'm a nerd. I like to look at all the little things like that. But I was able to switch it the other day when I hopped on, down from that to All-Star Movies in a preferred room, and I got it for $107 before tax with my annual pass holder discount. They have other discounts going on right now for rooms, but I the best discount for me at the time was the annual pass holder discount. And so I got the room for $121 and some change, tax and all, like all in. So I was very, very excited about that because that gives me a little bit more room. I think it ended up saving me, compared to tax and everything for the Coronado room, about 60 bucks. So I'm like, all right, this is great. We just saved a little bit more money. So maybe, I don't know, I was gonna do like mainly quick service food, and like just really try to stick to that $300 budget. But I might do like one like table service lunch. I don't know, we'll see. I may just do quick service just so I can be like on the fly and like whatever I'm feeling in the moment, and not have like a really strict schedule to stick to, and that way I can just kind of be spontaneous. But I don't know, we'll see. But that's how it's going so far. I do still need to book my transportation, so maybe we can do that later today. I need to start probably like, not that it's gonna take me a while, it's one day, it's like one night at Disney, but I would love to start like pulling my clothes and whatever outfit that I want to wear for like travel day and then coming back and everything. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm mostly excited and just a little nervous and not sure how I'm gonna, like, I don't know. All right, you guys, I leave on this trip tomorrow. Like, I cannot believe all of this has finally arrived. I didn't book it that far out, so I've not had to wait that long, but with everything else going on, I've just been so busy. I've not had a ton of time to like really put a lot of time and investment into this trip. Granted, it's like just over 24 hours at Disney World. I will land in Orlando. I'll probably be at the hotel around 1, so I'll have like on property time, I will have like 26 hours. So not a huge amount of time, but it'll be nice too. So I'm very excited about it. But I have everything laid out on the bed for packing. So this, I feel like I'm forgetting stuff because there is so little laid out on this bed. It is insane. Maybe I am forgetting something, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm only packing for myself and for one single night, that it feels so much lighter when you're used to packing for your kids and helping coordinate with your husband and doing all this other stuff. It's just like, this feels weird, feels very weird. But let me show you what we're dealing with. All right, I guess we'll just kind of start with my bag. I am using my Holy Grail personal item bag with Flying Spirit. I did not purchase a bag. It's one night. I can work out of a personal item, and that is like the best personal item on the planet, and I will keep saying that until I find a bag that's better. I have looked so many times because I'm always like, well, is there something better on the market? Am I recommending the best product? This thing is the best product, hands down. It's under 50 bucks. Like, seriously, the best bag, and I love it. I just need them to make it in light purple for me. That would be amazing. But starting out here on this side, I am taking my girls' Petunia Pickle Bottom mini district bag. This is going to be my like park bag is my plan. So once I get there, I can like just pull this out of my personal item and I'm all set. But I wanted something a little bit bigger. Usually I would carry my sling bag. We're doing an Elsa sing along in the other room if you guys can hear that, so I apologize, but I wanted something big enough that I can put my refillable water down in it. I'm also going to be taking my rain gear, so I'll have like an umbrella and stuff, so if I need to throw it in somewhere, I don't want to have all this stuff in my hands. So, and I also kind of wanted to be hands-free for vlogging and whatever, so I'm going with the mini backpack style. So I've got, as you saw, my refillable water bottle so I can have some nice cold water, stay hydrated, very important. I have my hand warmer because it is going to be between 40 and 70. So, you know, it's a mixed bag of what I'm going to get on this trip, but got that. I've got some gum. I have some lady products in here. I love this. This is by the, Amy's Small World. I will have the shop linked down below. It's her small shop. She makes the clear bags that I use all the time. And, I love that she also has fabric options, and it's nice for keeping things a little bit more discreet like that. I have hand sanitizer. I've got my sunglasses and a pack of tissues, my magic band, this new e.l.f. lip oil. I got it to try. I'm not a fan of it. It's not an oil. It feels like lip gloss. It's not quite as sticky, but it's still pretty sticky. But I don't know, mini review of that. My AirPods, my phone charger. If you have not invested in one of these, whether it's for your diaper bag, your park bag, anything, it is awesome. So I love that you can charge it, just plug it in, and then it comes with the cables attached. They can't come unattached, so you are set. If you're like me, you're not gonna forget anything. So love that part. I wanted some travel wipes, but my store was sold out, and I don't really want to have to go anywhere for just a single little tiny pack of wipes. So I'm using this one. It is the smallest one that we have in our home right now, so I guess that's what I'm carrying as my wipes. And then over here I have my little travel medicine container. So pain reliever, motion sickness medicine, cold medicine, anything. I know it's one night, but you guys, that's just, I feel like you should always have that. I've got myself a couple of snacks for the airplane. I actually remembered myself this time, you guys. I'm so proud. But I got some beef jerky and then some peanut butter M&Ms because protein and sugar, that's like the two main food groups, right? So we've got that. This is going to be my travel day fit. I probably won't wear my ears until I get to Disney World, so I'm gonna lay these over here. But I have a shirt shacket thing going on here. I love these things. I have this in so many colors. It is like probably an unhealthy obsession with how much I love this. I have a little white tank to wear under it, and then these are fleece lined. They're not super thick. When I say fleece lined, you think like, oh my God, I'm gonna be sweating. But they are just kind of cozy lined on the inside. Let me see if I can show you here. So that's what it looks like for, it's only gonna be like 65. So that's gonna be really comfortable to keep me nice and warm. Has a pocket. It's the new wide leg trend. So it's not a typical legging. It has hair all over it because I shed like a dog. But it has a regular like wide leg. So it's trendy and whatever. So those are super comfortable. I love them. When I wore them a couple weeks ago on my January trip with the girls, and they were perfection. So that is like my go-to outfit. So I've got that. I've got my winter hat and gloves in case I need it. I've got some slipper socks for the room. It's seriously one night, but I just love some slipper socks. I have my dirty clothes bag and a packing cube to put these clothes in. So I've got my dirty clothes bag. That way I can keep the dirty clothes away from the clean clothes. So I can kind of separate that out in the bag. For day number 2, it's a 2-day trip. So travel day. This is also my park day. I'll have my ears, which I can wear again with either outfit because clearly I have a theme and favorite color is light purple. So I have this ruffly sweater. I love this. And then some jeans, so cute and comfortable. So I'm excited about that outfit. I've got my pajamas going on here, so I've got some cozy jammies. So I love these. I've got their shorts on the bottom, sweater on the top. I love those. Got my rain gear just in case. Got my rain jacket, my umbrella, have my travel sound machine because even as a solo person, whether you have kids or not, seriously, you should be traveling with a sound machine. So I am taking this one. I've got my little chargers for my AirPods, my watch, phone, all my chargers for like my sound machine and anything else. So I've got a little pouch of those there. And then my toiletry bag. So I've got makeup on, hair products on this side, and then toiletries on the other side. Love this little bag so much. So I will try to link what I can, and then yeah, that's that, and let's get it into the bag. So I decided to switch out the jammies for some lighter weight ones instead because I'm like, as much as I want to take my cozy ones, it's just making my bag, it's not, I just want to leave a little room in case I find anything or whatever. I just don't want it to be so crammed. So switching it out for my lightweight jammies. I'm home from my trip now. It was wonderful, and the vlogs are coming. So you're seeing the planning, booking, packing, and then now we're getting a glimpse of the budget, the overall budget, so what I actually spent. So in the beginning, my goal was to only spend that $300. So I definitely went a bit over that, but we're gonna get a breakdown and how much I ended up spending realistically on this, because it's easy to go in with an idea of what you want to do, and I kind of made it a little more, okay, if I was planning this day for me and celebrating, and I was like the whole 20K, I was like, you know what, I can splurge a little bit more, I can spend a little bit more money, I can add a little bit more money to this budget, and we can celebrate, and I'm gonna have some fun. So let's do a full breakdown. Let's start out with the accommodations. So I ended up, for my Port Orleans French Quarter king bed room, ended up spending $229.16 on my room for my single night. It was $203.70 before taxes and fees and whatever. So after taxes, it ended up being that $229.16. So I could have stayed at the All-Star Movies for $121, but I was like, you know what? I just kept checking to see what else was available. I was looking for maybe Pop so I could have Skyliner access. And I'm like, oh, well, if it's only like $10 or so more, that would be a good spend to be able to have access to the Skyliner. And then when I was checking for Pop, I saw French Quarter in that king bedroom, and I had to book it, because I'm like, that is like, as far as a moderate kind of budget friendly room, I'm like, this is my dream room. And you'll see in the vlogs, but it ended up being literal perfection for me. It was like, I had my king bed, which I was very excited about. I was like, I'm always telling Nate, I'm like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sleep like a starfish in this king bed and have all this room. And so I have my king bed. I ended up having a corner room, so you have the double windows, which was awesome. And then I also had a water view. So I saw the boats going by, and it was wonderful. So I'm like, it was just perfection. And I didn't request any of those things. I hadn't put in a room request there, and that's what I ended up with. So I'm like, that is just such a God wink. If I ever saw one, I'm like, that was just perfect. Because I hadn't requested that or anything, but it's just something that I love. And so, you know, it's the little things sometimes. Then let's see, for my flight, I ended up all total spending on my flight $69.20. So originally it was going to be, I think, $65. I think it was like 60 or 64 and some change. I forget exactly. It was going to be around that. I could have, if I bought the day before, and I'm kicking myself, if I would have bought my flight the day before, it would have been $45. Round trip. This isn't one way, round trip, you guys. Instead of $65 round trip. But I just was being chicken. I was scared and nervous and like, I don't know, do I want to do this? Like, I've wanted to do this, but should I do this? And just like back and forth of just in this whole indecision thing. But finally booked it. It was $65 the next day, is what it is. It's still a $65 round trip flight. But on my flight down there, I ended up upgrading my seat for $5 to a closer row, and also so I could have a window seat. I like the window. Also with filming, it's nice to be able to like film takeoff and landing, and I was able to see parts of Disney from my window seat, which is really cool. Usually I'm like slinging snacks and messing with tablets and helping kids, and so I don't really get to look out the window much. So I was like, I'm listening to my audiobook, I'm looking out the window, like, this is awesome. And I got to see Disney. So now for the food. So when I first got there, I dropped my bags at Bell Services, went straight to Magic Kingdom. First thing I did, grab a coffee. It was straight and got a coffee. So I spent $6.17 there. Then I went over and I grabbed a donut. Oh no, here it is. And so I spent on that one $7.34 on my pink donut. Then let's see, I didn't eat anything. I was pretty full. I wasn't super hungry that day. For dinner, I had a kids meal at Columbia Harbor House for $9.15. And then let's see, that was all I ate that day. Then the next day I grabbed coffee at Magic Kingdom that morning for my like full day, or my return day. It was like 26 hours or 27 hours. So I grabbed coffee. That was $10.98 for that morning. And then let's see, what else did I do that day? For breakfast, I had my Crystal Palace breakfast. So with being an annual pass holder, I received 10% off on my meal. So that made my meal, and I think this is before tip, because I don't think they've added on my tip to this yet. But tip and yeah, I don't think they've added on the tip, and I don't even remember what I tipped. But it was just yesterday and I don't remember already, I'm sorry. But it was $46.01. I had the sweetest waitress, she was lovely. But $46.01 for that. Went over, grabbed some beignets, $7.44 for that one. And then that was it. As far as food, I didn't eat anything until I got back home with Dean. We grabbed some Whataburger on the way home after he picked me up at the airport. So that was that. So all total for food, I ended up spending $87.09 on food. Yesterday, so my departure day at Magic Kingdom, I did buy Genie Plus. So that ended up being $26.63. That all brings us to a total of $412.08. So for my hotel, my flight down there and back, my food, and then my park ticket. I didn't have to purchase one because I'm already an annual pass holder. So I'm just kind of counting that as free because it's like you pay for it up front. I would love to go through one day and maybe like do the math of like, okay, this is how much I paid for my pass and this is how many days I've used it. I should really do that. Maybe I can do that as like a recap. When I renew my pass in April, is I can do like a calendar year of, okay, I bought my annual pass and this is how much I spent per day as a non-local. So maybe I'll share that when I get to renew in April. But so $412.08, so $112.08 over what I was going to do. But I don't feel like that's bad. It's not like I doubled it, so I don't feel terrible about being that being my total. And then because I know I'm gonna get questions of, well, what about your transportation to and from the airport? They're not free. So they MCO to Disney, which is the company that I use, and I will have their information linked below. They hosted me in exchange for content. So as kind of a barter system, as an influencer, that's kind of a perk that I do, is they host and then I can give them a shout out and talk about them, which I would have done anyway. I'm like, it's just a nice like icing on the cake that they're like, hey, we would love to host you. And so I did a shout out for them. So that was really nice. So I did get to kind of utilize that as a perk. So that did bring my cost down some. Personally, that would have been my choice for transportation. I just, as a solo traveler and just traveling in general, whether it's as a family or as a couple, I don't like Ubers. I know that's a really unpopular opinion, but I've never, well, no, I have to take that back. I had one good Uber in Florida, but other than that, I've never had a very good Uber experience. So for me, I'm like, it's not even an option. I'm like, I want to do budget friendly, but I'm not doing that. It's just, time after time, I'm like, well, maybe it was just that driver. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. And tons and tons, more than you can even count on fingers and toes later. And I'm just like, I just don't like Uber. Because I'm like, okay, I'm beyond this whole like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Like, it's like we're so far beyond that. But yeah, so that's the trip budget. But I hope you guys kind of enjoyed seeing that little bit of a roundup. I didn't buy any souvenirs or anything like that. That was kind of the trip. But I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little recap. If you do, and you did, you have to leave some little like money signs in your emoji, or like in your emojis in your comment. put words together. Disney hangover, I guess. I'm so tired today. But that was like a whirlwind, and my hair is falling. Okay, side note, before we end this video, why does this whole like your hair falling out of the clip thing have to be a trend? I don't like it because my hair falls out of the clip. Does anybody else have that problem, or is it just me? But all right, my kids are playing in the other room and I don't even know what they're doing now. They've got the loudest toy going, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, red subscribe button, and stay tuned for the vlogs from this trip. I have two. I have a travel day and then my 20K celebration day, which is also my return day. So I hope you guys will stick around, watch those. I'm excited. It was a lot of fun and I cannot wait for you guys to virtually come along with me. Oh, in my 20K video, I'm announcing a giveaway that I'm doing and I'm really excited about it. So, those are coming. So stay tuned and I will see you guys next time. Bye.